Oops. They reset the camera, so it. Hold on. I was saying we got to do this for all the other people. They reset my camera, or they upgraded it, so it reset all my settings and erased half of them. So now I'm on my second video. Sorry, I try to make it so these things stay together. It's a lot easier for both of us. But we gotta forget about all this stuff. You know, I don't really care if you got kids and you value your kids more than anyone else in society, but you gotta respect other people's freedoms. You gotta respect other people's rights because it's going to be your kids' rights and your kids' freedoms. So, whenever you think about outlawing something to protect the kids, and that's a huge one of their schemes, put protecting the women and children, that's just a propaganda slogan, just like war. You know, the drug war, the war on humans, the pro-police state. It's just another one of their systems to say we got to protect the children. It's like, now they're really not protecting the children. Most of these people aren't doing it. We got to come together. We got to realize there's something bigger than all of us. You know, sure, many days this last couple months, last 5 months, I haven't even ate breakfast till like 7 p.m. because I've been trying to do stuff, you know, cram so much stuff onto my plate. Like, I've been trying to fill my plate with so much food that I just don't have time to even eat it. So, we got to set all that aside, though. We got to come together, and we got to deal with the government. They're criminals on every level. And I know y'all are scared to talk about this stuff because what comes down on you, I'm used to it. I'm used to it. I've been their doormat my whole life. You all have been, but many of you have just allowed it to go on, and it allows it for a little bit less to happen when you just don't kick it too much. And you can see sometimes I don't kick it either. But, like, I don't make anti-police videos, really, because who's going to arrest these people at the end of the day? Are they going to all arrest themselves? No, that's the point of the video. We need total revolution. We need to put these people in prison. And shortly after that, we need to put them on the streets picking up trash. And give them a mop. Just for fun. I mean, if there wasn't so much wrong going on that needed to be righted, I would say give them a mop and make them mop the frickin' freeway. Just so we could laugh. That would be an interesting comedy show, right? Like politicians mopping the freeway. Call it Mop the Freeway USA. And pay-per-view could pay some taxes. Think how many people would pay for that. People with lots of money would donate to something like that. God's perfect plan is to be able to take the stuff that has damaged you, that they have used to damage you, and to they beat you and they pound you into dust, and you wet that dust down with some mortar, and you build it up better than before. We do the same thing here. They go through these areas generally, except for the Masonic Temple, which I helped rebuild. So, except for that, most places are built to collapse in America after 100 years. Now, in Europe and all this stuff, y'all viewers might know something else because you guys used to build stuff for quality. But our wood houses, they deteriorate after like 100 years, and it's best to bulldoze them and rebuild on the land. What are they doing out here? What do they do out here all the time? When they got something, they bulldoze it and then they build it up better because it got old. What am I doing with my car? Well, 20 years old, collectible, rare, low mileage. People love it. They don't want me to. No one on the Pro Dog wants me to get rid of that car because it's nice. It looks good. It sounds good too. Stereo is nice. I thank y'all for giving me that. I know somehow many of you humans had something to do with that. I mean, like I said, from the laborers to the from the construction laborers to the people working at McDonald's to the people working at Home Depot. Y'all all facilitated the ability for that car to be built in that manner. So I thank you all for that car. It was a wonderful gift, and I didn't like the color of it. Green. I never had a green car. It's like, yeah, that doesn't match anything I own, except for my freaking eyes, right? It takes someone like me to not stare in the mirror all day and not even realize my eyes are green. It's like, wow. And then dislike the own colors of myself. That's odd. Now I know what it feels like to be a redhead. But we need to band together, you know. But just let me finish that thought. But it gets old. The car gets old, and it gets more expensive to maintain. Everyone claims they don't know how to work on it, so I can't. I can't work on it no more. I can't keep it. It becomes more expensive to hold on to than it does to get rid of and rebuild a new one. That is part of our recyclable society our disposable society. And I've got plans to turn it into a recyclable and rebuildable society. And again, like I said, like I was just talking about with the houses in Europe and all that, they have like 300-year-old brick houses. The Masonic Temple I rebuilt. We didn't rebuild that because it was garbage. We rebuilt it because it was super. It was a super temple. Dude, calling it a temple is a joke, dude. That's like one of the biggest buildings downtown. Especially for the era it was built. Now we got high rises now, but those high rises I don't even think they're built as strong as the Masonic Temple. I don't know. That's some thick brick, dude. They brought in the Egyptian slave stones on that one. But so you rebuild that stuff. When you get crushed down, you pick up the pieces and you rebuild it into something better. Right? We can do that. We can crush the New World Order into dust, rebuild it into a beautiful temple. Of course, it'll probably be more like, because this type of structure, we're told, cannot exist with scientism and physics. Although the 9/11 buildings defy scientism and physics, right? So maybe it's not real. And of course, Einstein's a bit of a propagandist. But Newton, he's hated by the science community, so he's probably actually right about physics. Of course, then again, I'm falling into the logical fallacy that the opposition is the good guys because they speak the opposition. But still, I find that the top thinkers who are ostracized probably generally are on the right path, and that's why people like Michelangelo and Newton are, well, they're ostracized in many ways. And Michelangelo might hide stuff in his designs, in his work, and not saying that's for sure. But we need to come together. We can crush the system and rebuild it into something better. It was supposed to be something better. Everyone, this American dream thing, it's real. The world is a beautiful place, but it's burning. It's being burnt down. And, well, from the ashes, we can rise and we can rebuild. But we need to come together to do this, to burn the system down. We can't keep falling for their lies. And I'm saying come together. So all these people I've talked about, or say you might be suspect of, I'm open. They are not. Chris Dorsey, you can speak to me anytime like a man. I tried to. Patrick Little, you can speak to me anytime like a man. I tried to. David Duke, I've donated to you. And then you spit in my face. Alex Jones, I've donated to you. And you spit in my face. But for the rest of you, we need to come together. I am fine with re-talking with some of these people. I've met some of the alt-right people face to face. And I tried to intelligently discuss stuff with some of these people in the past, and they just really want to lead it down rabbit holes. And I understand, like, the most logical, best put forth argument isn't always the words on the tip of your tongue. So in one or two discussions, maybe it could lead astray. My best friends, I fought all of them, except for the one who taught me how to fight, because we were fighting all the time anyway. So no need to ever fight. I knew he was a superior fighter. There was no point in me attempting to have him kill me. But there's really no reason to, because he was very calm on once you knew who he really was, like a Zen master. Uh, because Alan Watts says that's exactly what the Zen master is like. Like, we appear to be the devil on the outside, but that's just, can you survive the heat to get to the tempered sword in the middle, the treasure you are after? The gemstone that has been forged by pressure and heat, the diamond in the middle. Can you survive the heats to get to that? We need to come together. We need to stop letting Russia divide us. I wish Russia would divide America. You know why? Because someone's got to fix this problem. Someone's got to fix it. And if Russia was here, they would fix it. Russia's the commies. How is the liberals against the commies? Jesus, it makes no sense. Stop letting them divide us. Nazis and commies come together. That is the American way. Just get rid of the government. You guys can still all live fancy and high on the hog. But you've got to seize the opportunity, and you've got to do it like now. The empire cycle is on the downward slope. Now, the empire has recovered before, but it's pretty much like taking an arrow to the knee, and it's still a sign of the path of it and where it's going, and it's on its downward slope. And I really don't think this one recovers without the proper guidance. It can't. It's too divided. That's exactly how you conquer the people. You divide them up and you conquer them. There are so many people in America. Most of these people in America, they come here because they think it's a better place. Because they don't think they know. They know. Because they're under the spell of the empire. But it could be turned into this fantasy land that people dream of. It's supposed to be, according to fairy tale books, but it's not. It's like a nightmare. It really is. Like poor people, I think they think it's different on the higher levels. So they're somehow convinced that the other people are against them because, and then the other people are in a better position. And it's like, well, they kind of are, but it's really the same devil stuff. And it's like, I feel less safe in this rich white neighborhood than I felt when I lived in the ghetto beside a crack house. Like, when I lived beside the crack house, if I had a problem with the crack house, I could go burn the crack house down and no one would care. The cops would be like, ah, ha, ha, ha. Over here, the demons, the crackheads, the cops come help them out, make laws for them. They made up new laws on the spot to protect them. This is garbage. We can't keep going on like this. All this stuff needs changing. We all got to come together. We all, and that's hard because there's a lot of empty space in America. Like, I've been thinking about this logically for 10 years. And I'm coming out now and telling you, and didn't tell you in the past, because you know what? They were already on to me. The police and government have been in my life forever. You don't have to believe that, but you can see the previous videos where the argument with Chris Dorsey where I showed you one of the times, and it's just like, that's a continual everyday thing for me. Now, for the last few years, my life has been kind of like just me locked in the library reading. For the last 10 years, I've just basically been locked in front of a book in a gym, reading and working out. But other than that, it's been totally learning how to battle the system, which is its own version of a library. Going into the system and learning the battle from within. You guys know that. All the poor people know that. David recently said he was pulled over and taken aside, and they basically took his car for like nothing. And yeah, dude, they stole my car too. I was involved in a murder, manslaughter, same day, death trial. They stole the murder weapon because it was a car, and they wanted the car because it was a good car, minus the damage that occurred in the accident. It was like a really good, like all my cars have been pretty good cars. Even the Moldy Goldie, we call it the Goldie. Pretty moldy though. It got named Moldy Goldie. It was great. Wow. Speakers was loud. It was a hatchback, so the speakers was right in your face. And it survived me. It was a Toyota. It would have survived anything. And the Ford LTD was broke down. First car I bought when I was 15. But it survived everything. We would hit trees with that, like smaller trees. Pow! And smash drain pipes straight into the wall. The wall ain't moving. The car's stopping though. Get that petrified wood effect. You love that feeling, don't you? You know, but my other cars were good in other ways, like extremely low mileage, beautiful looking cars. So they stole the car from me. So I know they're doing that across the nation, everyone. And look, you get behind me, and these people will be begging for your forgiveness. I will make it so they have to repent and beg for society's forgiveness when they get out of hand. These people in control. Hold on. Playing the games here. These people in control. They know better. They don't care. It's a plan. It's a planned system of slavery. They got the Illuminati eye. They all seeing everything. They are all seeing it. They're not all seeing it, but they see all. A couple of them do. And we got to band together against this stuff. This isn't just you, David. This isn't just me. This isn't about me. Now, I try really hard to never involve myself personally because I'm not taking up, I haven't picked up this sword and battle flag so I could help me only. Everything I've done and look forward to doing for you guys has been for you guys and gals. Everything I want to do, I look at through this lens. Well, maybe not everything, like I eat, right? I guess technically I need to eat or I die and then I can't share this information with you. So I do force myself to eat like one meal a day or something. But the way I see it is, why would I offer to get into politics if it wasn't helping everyone? Why would I offer to change the government if it wasn't helping everyone? That would be greedy and selfish of me. And the world isn't about me. The world is about the construction worker out there, paving the road, about the janitor cleaning the toilet, about the McDonald's worker who may choose to make me a proper burger or may choose to cause me some problems and not make a proper burger. Or the burger maker over here at Five Guys who gets an attitude with me and then sees me in real life and offers me extra food as forgiveness. And, it's about y'all. I'm not one of these people who says the system needs burnt to the ground. Like, completely. No, the order of the world, God created ant colonies. God may have created the creator, with God's scientists, whatever. Scientism people, atheists are saying like, well, no God exists. It's like, look, dude, you're already trying to create humans in a test tube. How are you telling me that never happened and that's not where you came from? End of argument. That argument's lost. I had a whole series I was going to do called Debunking Atheism, and it's not I agree with religious people. It's that there's evidence in refutations to the contrary. So, and then for those of you who aren't obsessed with books, I just basically said, and have lives, and have to, be a construction worker or a McDonald's worker, or Walmart worker. I basically just said that, when you refute something, you speak against it basically, or recant it. Is that too big for some people? I'm sorry. Sometimes I purposely throw in these big words because people are like, oh, he's smart, he knows words, and it's like, but I know in the reality that none of y'all was like tortured and forced to live in a library half your life, and you have other skills. So I've got to always make sure, and plus I get a lot of foreign views. This isn't about America even. The people of the world have to come together. Now the yellow vest would have been great, but why did the left and right media both go in on it, and why didn't they allow a discussion of it? That was super fishy. And at the same time, Macron was opposing Rothschild in Israel. Yeah, he worked for him, and then he started opposing them. Dude, I've worked for these people. I just told you. I built a Masonic. I restored a Masonic temple, not built. Definitely didn't build. That was built a long time ago. I've worked for these rich elite. Like, that's who people around me work for. They wouldn't work for anyone else. That's where all the money is. Why would they go work at McDonald's when they can go work for Epstein or Lex Wexner, or Lex Wexner and Epstein's pals in this city, or John Kasich, So yeah, I've worked for these people, but we need a real group. Yellow Vest would have been fine if it didn't seem so fishy, and Macron didn't actually seem like he wasn't a globalist. And Macron actually said, protect yourself from America. And that's what this is about. You can't just keep letting it go on. We've got to come together. And I don't want to rule the world. And I don't want the world to be ruled by one man. I don't think so. The diversity, the creator's design, he created, the bees do not run the flower kingdom. The flowers, and yes, you different races are as different as the birds and the flowers are. You are all so complex. I've learned from watching you all that you are all different. Like the white people, it's like, I look at them and I'm like, what the hell, who are these people? Because of how they act compared to some other people. And then I notice like, so many more India people are into technology, and it's like, why am I stuck around all these white people if it's like India people into the stuff I'm into? And then, the different people, because humans are kind of more complex than a flower or a bee, so their differences can be much more vast. But we need to realize what's going on, and they're pitting us against one another, and we need to destroy this system completely. We need to globally come together as people and stop listening to the master and bite their hands off and put them in prisons. That's a large call for some of you people. So I'm just calling that for America, but we must all realize this across the globe, because if not, they're going to pit nation against nation. They're already prepping it. They're already doing it every day. When did it ever stop? And I'm not saying it's ever going to stop. I can't say for sure. I can't control everyone. I'm saying I'm not going to. I wouldn't want to control everyone, and no one should control everyone. And the diversity is true strength. The different people, their different ideas, built different cultures that look completely different, and their skill sets go forward. Which is more important in the car, the gas tank or the engine? Which is more important in a truck? The bed of the truck or the front passenger wheel? Well, the wheel is kinda, but why'd you buy a truck? To get the bed. We gotta come together. We really do. Doesn't matter if you hate me, if I say stuff that insult you. Like, I try to say stuff to insult everyone. Like, I don't really try. I just do, right? And that's the way it is. Like, I'm like really sarcastic and funny person. I'm really nice, too. But I'm also kind of psychotic. I'm kind of like everything. I kind of like most people I know. They don't seem to be just one little nothing. You're not a bee. You're not a flower. A flower is a little complex, a bee's a little complex, but you are the ultimate puzzle and complexity, and you will never understand yourself. But so we've got to put all this hate aside. Let's love the Russians. Let's love the Iranians. Let's let's try to love the Brits, even though we celebrate on the 4th of July blowing them up. I love the Brits. Great people. They're some of the first people I could have political discussions with about America, honestly. But I'm going to end this because this is about the end. We need to come together. Everyone needs to realize what's going on, focus, and not let the nations be divided by these New World Order. Let the nations be divided by your skills and your intent and the creator's invention, how your parents' invention of your DNA and what it produces. And that will produce something different, and we can all bask in its glory and enjoy the gifts you have offered the world. But right now, they're just trampling everyone, and we've got to come together. We've got to